We are at Frontenac State Park today. Coming out here in April, we're gonna get one of the carton sites. We were gonna do one of the backpack sites, but they don't have any hammock friendly spots, so we're gonna hike out to them and just double check for ourselves. And then from there, we're gonna hike some of the bluffside trails maybe. We'll see. The water went through that pretty recently. Campsite 1, this is the campsite they say has no trees, good for hammock camping, which I have to disagree a little bit with, because there's a lot of good hangs and such. You could just go right across the path there too. I don't know why they say that. Not sure if you can hear that, but that's the train coming through. There was just one about 10 minutes ago too. This is campsite 1 of the backpack site of Frontenac State Park, and the train's right over there. That is site 2 over there. They are very close to each other in proximity of the train. Yep. So there's a train right across the lake. There's a highway right across the lake, right at this backpack site. You're not getting away from nature at all being out here. It's just so noisy and congested. Like, the hike in is only a mile, but there's so much noise. Just comes across that lake, you can't even hear it. This is one of the car campsites here. This is car campsite 20 here at Frontenac State Park. Meeting up with a couple people. They are going to be camping here in their car with all the rain, and they're testing it out for road tripping coming this summer. But in the background you can see Lake Pepin there. That's a nice widening of the Mississippi River right there. And we're gonna just walk around the campsites. Might go see the arch that's up there.
You want to take a look at the overlook here? To the right?
Frontenac is an area along the side of the Mississippi that has a lot of limestone deposits, and one of the main ones here along the bluffs is called, there's an arch that's made out of the limestone, and it's called Mpls rock, which means rock with a hole in it. So we're gonna go check that out.
On our way to Frontenac State Park, we stopped at the Goodhue County Historical Society. Had about 6 or 7 rooms of various history teachings of the area, from archaeological to geological to the settlers to Native American. One of the things that I thought was most interesting that I did not know is the Lake Pepin area is actually where the first human settlement in the Minnesota area was ever recorded. It goes back as far as 10,000 years. Much farther back than some of what you might think of as the Dakota or the Ojibwe. It goes back thousands of years before that. There's a lot of record of mounds and villages that were all throughout this river valley.
So behind me is Lake Pepin, and what it is just a widening of the Mississippi River that they call Lake Pepin. And what happens is all the sandstone around here erodes, and it creates kind of a blockage down there, or more of this delta that blocks up, and that's why the water kind of pushes back up here and it fills up in. And it's wide enough where they call it a lake, so it's still the Mississippi River, but it's a lake. I don't think I'm going to bring the chair. So with Frontenac State Park, around 1955 they petitioned to try to make it a park, and the surrounding residents of the town Frontenac refused. They didn't want this to be a park. They didn't want more people coming over here and enjoying the lands. It wasn't until a public advocacy group bought up a lot of the surrounding lands. There is one point though, Sand Point, the man refused to sell because he was trying to hold out so they wouldn't get it. So it took a lot of work for them to get this park into action. And right now, we're heading into the Carton sites, which isn't that far of a hike, but it's got some nice views all around, you know.
It's nicer than the backpack hiking.
Yeah,
I think.
I agree. Nicer than the backpack hiking. Yeah.
All right, we just made it to campsite 6, hiking campsite 6. You can see it's pretty good. We're up on like a little kind of hill here and dips down. They said it is the only other hiking or the Carton sites that allow hammocking. I think they're assuming you're gonna go between that tree and this tree, maybe over here. I don't really know. I'm gonna be setting up my tent here-ish. We only had the one hammock. They said there's only one spot for a hammock here. There is another spot behind me, a little higher up, that's flattened out for a tent. So you could definitely get a couple tents. Apparently only one hammock. It does seem to be the most secluded of the camping sites, but there is just here, campsite 5. You can definitely see them right through the trees. And there is someone there tonight, so we're gonna see how that plays out. Someone parked there at least. So we're gonna see how that works, how close they are. You can still actually hear the train. There's the guy coming, but you can hear the train coming. That's happening, so it's not nearly as bad as the backpack site. Besides that, the view, it is literally just trees all around. There's no lake or nothing. But the hike out, I think it was a lot better than the hike in to the backpack sites. There you go.
It is good to be back where you can stick a regular stake in the ground. You don't have to use a snow stake. It's also good to be back where your hands aren't freezing. Oh, this is nice. Their Carton sites, a lot of them state that they're, this is the only one they stated was hammock friendly. And I think on their sheet it says it has to have trees that are 6 inches in diameter and 12 feet apart. So here they said there's only room enough for one hammock to hang. And what I assume they wanted me to do is there's a middle one that's kind of dead, and I think that's what they were looking for people to hang off of, but that's not safe in the least bit. So I actually took one here going across our trail entryway in. This is just our campsite, the trail into our only site, so it's only us walking here, so it won't cause any problems. But you could get 2 or 3 hammocks here easily,
And then walking by, we saw another site, site 2. There's somebody in a hammock there that's just kind of hanging out, and apparently they said that's not hammock friendly, but it is. I think it's more so they want you to stay over the grass and everything, because I guess people are destroying all the undergrowth. I understand that. Hi. Are you happy to be back in warmer weather? Yes, it is much nicer. You know what's funny? We talked about whether or not we were going to go out next winter, yeah, and how cold it was, and whether or not that was such a factor of not wanting to go back out. I almost feel like this is a greater factor of not wanting to go out in the winter, because this is ideal. You know, it's cold enough. There's no bugs, but it's not so cold that it's miserable. No, I can't talk to the 7th.
I've never had good luck with air pads. They always leak, or there's always a slow leak, and then you're on a rock in the middle.
Yeah, the weather was nice. I think it's like 50 to 60 all day. There were some muddy parts, but the trails themselves are well maintained. There was a lot of people, especially at the lookout. Yeah, there's a lot of people. There are places you can just drive up to.
Got plenty of car driving sites. It's got 2 backpacking sites, but I will straight up don't recommend those for any campers. You're not going to get the rustic feel that you want with those. There's 6 carton sites. It looks like they're building more since I've seen there's clearing brush here. The carton sites aren't that different. It gives you the feel of hiking, but the road is literally there. You can still see the road for the park, I should say. You can still hear the train, and you can definitely see the other sites. Maybe when it fills up a little bit more greenery, you won't see them, but you'll definitely hear them. Gonna watch a little bit of the Final Four. I know, it's not really camping. Neither is that train in the background. Good morning. It is 6:30 in the morning. Just getting up. Gonna get some breakfast, then go pack up. It was actually, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That train going by all night did not work out. It's like every hour the train would go by. I didn't like this site. Nope.